Start recording and jump right into it. Now, we've all had to deal with negativity at some point in our lives. Just like positive energy is a natural part of life, I think negative energy is a natural part of life as well. I think negativity can be described as looking for the worst possible outcome in any situation, even when evidence suggests there's no cause for concern. I think it's that thing that keeps us from jumping off cliffs thinking we can fly because we're juiced up on feels. What I mean to say is, when we can recognize it in the abstract, I feel like negativity often works kind of like a saving force in our lives. Like, when I was a kid, everyone hung out at the playground. Now, to get to the playground, you could walk down this steep hill or jump off this ledge to get there. Guess what most people did? Now, it wasn't that steep, so chances of getting hurt were minimal. And it wasn't my first time jumping it, but it rained the night before, and for whatever reason, I kept thinking, I don't want to slip, fall, and break my neck. So I was going to walk and be safe. Zach, the neighborhood dickhead, pushed me off anyway. Thankfully, the only thing that broke that day was my faith in humanity, so I didn't lose much. The negativity I'm talking about is almost like a virus. It infects your rational pattern of thought and replaces it with just enough doubt to make you approach even the simplest of situations with the worst possible outcome in mind. Like, say your boss says good morning. A rational person says, good morning. A negative person goes, well, his voice dropped an octave and he didn't make eye contact. I must be getting fired today. When in reality, his grandson farted in his face, gave him pink eye, and his voice is raspy from crying himself to sleep last night. I feel like this kind of negativity comes from an inability to cope with traumatic experiences that we likely had no control over. So almost like a defense mechanism, we'll assume the worst to soften the blow, or we'll complain incessantly to relieve us of any feeling of responsibility should the worst come to pass. It's kind of ironic. It's like in order to have some sense of control, a negative person makes themselves feel bad to keep themselves from feeling bad. It's like licking raw chicken to see if it has salmonella, and feeling validated if you get salmonella. I think it's easy to fall into negative patterns of thought because in the days before civilization, assuming the worst was probably the difference between life and death. Yeah, those shiny white teeth in the middle of the night could be a lion, or it could be Tom Cruise practicing his movie running form. Either way, you're screwed. The worst thing about negativity is what it does to you and your loved ones. Negativity is a leech. It slowly but surely drains the life out of you, leaving you a shell of your former self, unable to truly allow yourself to enjoy a moment. It becomes like a cloud of paranoia that keeps you from seeing that everything is going to be okay. And in fact, everything has been okay. And if you aren't aware of it, your negativity can begin to drain the life out of your relationships. It can push away the people you care about most because your negativity becomes a liability to their happiness. They might feel like they can't share the more happy aspects of their lives with you because, well, they know what you're going to say. And no one really wants to be reminded that everything sucks every waking minute. Life is hard enough on its own. You might think to stop being negative, you just have to be more positive, but I don't think it's that simple. We all took beginner's math. You know, positive times a negative is still a negative. Negativity is just heavier. Really, I think it begins with how we think about ourselves and the world around us. That means how we speak to ourselves mentally often informs how we view the world. If I wake up thinking today's gonna suck because I didn't get enough sleep, there's a good chance unless I win the lottery, I'll begin to see even the smallest inconvenience as confirmation of that bias. And while I've never been an outwardly negative person, I've had to deal with anxiety, and negativity just comes with that. And I found the best ways to stop being negative are to challenge your own thoughts, figure out what's causing the feeling, because there's always a feeling behind negativity. And then once you figure that out, just be nice to yourself. So like when a negative thought pops up, the first thing you can do is ask yourself, well, is that true or is that just how I feel? Because while feelings are very real, they're not often reality. Quote Dan Harmon. And by doing this, you're casting doubt on whether or not that negativity is needed in the situation. You're disrupting the negative pattern of thinking before it begins. The best example of this is a quote from a friend of mine. I was having a rough day, and I told him about it, and he asked me, well, did your day actually suck, or are you just milking a 5-minute situation? I was like, I didn't think of it like that. Literally changed everything. We're not friends anymore. Once you're used to challenging your negativity, you can start answering honestly by addressing what it is that's making you feel it. Like a self-check-in. Like, bro, are we good? Yeah, man, that person's just really attractive, and I'm so nervous, it's making me feel like a loser. And identifying your feelings gives you an opportunity to practice a little self-kindness. what can you do or think to make yourself feel better? You can ask yourself, well, are they actually too attractive? Well, no, they're not too attractive. Yeah, I'm just nervous, and to be honest, I don't lose anything by saying hi, so let me say hi. Or you can go home. Netflix and ice cream are solid self-care. In truth, I think this is the first step to being more positive, and I think being more positive is as much about practicing good pattern of thought as it is about putting yourself in a position to succeed. And you can start by taking stock of the people and things around you. Identify the things and people that perpetuate negativity in your life, and then just begin to distance yourself from those things. And I understand some of the most negative people in our lives are family and friends. It can be hard to cut them out completely, but life is too short to keep that kind of toxicity around you. Think about it. If someone kept farting in your face, would you let them continue so they feel good about themselves, or would you move? I mean, if you're into that, no judgment. Do your thing. Now, if you find it's too difficult to cut people out because they're, a parent or they're a guardian, they're coworkers, you can start by setting boundaries and trying to limit your time around them as much as possible. And when you are around them, just don't engage in their negativity. Usually they'll start attacking you with anything, hoping to get a reaction. Just don't engage. Try not to engage. If you engage, you get caught up in their cycle. If you get caught up in their cycle, they get what they want and you lose. Finally, I think if you want to be more positive, you can just start doing everything in your power to make other people feel good about themselves. Not at your own expense, but, somebody's having a rough day, be a good listener. If, somebody's downing themselves, big them up. Just like negativity feeds off negativity, positivity tends to feed off positivity. And if all else fails, just remember this quote from one of the greatest poets of our time, Kendrick Lamar. Oh yeah, I realize it can be difficult to determine who's actually negative and, who's just being cautious. So just look out for these common phrases. All right, thanks for listening. If you listened, hope this helped. Take care of yourselves out there. It's rough. Just be nice to yourself. Life's too short to be mean. And for more content like this, be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Peace.